Here is a 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander in Storm Cloud black leather interior. The limited trim gets pretty much everything you would want, opposed to a few options that the Platinum will give you. Is this a better option to go turbocharged or hybrid? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and 15 more MPGs for the city and 4 more MPGs to the highway is what you will be losing if you get the limited hybrid. But if you go to the max, you're actually going to lose 1 MPG. Starting in the front fascia, premium projected LED headlights and standard LED daytime runnings with LED fog lights. The XLE does not receive fog lights. The lower gets the matte black. The grille is going to get the glossy elements and 8 inches of clearance. Front and rear parking sensors, and we have the optional 360-degree reverse camera, which you can't option on the XLE. Another point between the turbocharged and the hybrid, all of them will be the same. So if you get a limited hybrid, it's going to be the same options as this. Underneath the long hood, D4S, 4-cylinder, 2.4 liter, 265 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque paired to a 8-speed automatic transmission. Whereas when you go into the hybrid, you'll receive a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder hybrid with 245 horsepower, 175 pound-feet of torque. MPGs is at 36 for the city and 32 for the highway. Turbocharged, you're getting 21 MPGs for the city, 28 MPGs for the highway. Standard 18-inch wheel limited gets a 20-inch 5 double-spoke machine finish wheel. And when you get into the Platinum, it's going to be a 2-toned. The fenders get the matte black. Nothing really flares out, even on the side sills. There's no TRD option, and it's over 6 inches longer than a standard Highlander, which sounds like a lot, but really it's for cargo and for legroom for the third row occupants. Whether you go hybrid or you go turbocharged, all of them will tow the same at 5,000 pounds. So ticking the box for a max hybrid, getting the turbocharged with 362 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque, it's not going to change anything. Yeah, you might get a little bit better MPGs for the city than this, but your everyday use is going to be right at the same. It's going to be quicker in the 0 to 60s. LED taillights come standard. The Limited gets a light bar in the center that's LED. When you get into the Platinum, add the digital rear view mirror. The lower gets all the matte black and no exhaust outlets. For the turbocharged, I would have liked to see a couple of exhaust outlets just so it looks a little bit more sporty and distinguishes itself from the hybrid trims. Going into 20.6 cubic feet of storage. Because this is the Limited, we get the guards and the Grand Highlander with Toyota that illuminates with a JBL 11-speaker sound system. Underneath, it's a little bit of storage, but really to put your privacy cover. You can split fold the rear bench at a 40-60 split. That's going to increase cargo to 57.9 cubic feet. Split fold the captain seats, and it'll maximize cargo to 97.5 cubic feet. It will sit up a little bit because of the 8 inches of clearance. No exhaust outlets to be seen. Let's go inside, start up this turbocharge so you can hear that exhaust note. Power seat adjustment for the driver, 8-way power seat adjustment for the passenger, memory seats for the driver, heated, ventilated seats, perforated with the contrast stitching, headroom for the Grand Highlander, and leg room. The footwells are deep, wide, and I put my bag here to show you how much room you have. You have a storage for the passenger and also storage on the dash with a USB, and it's a 2-tier setup with the JBL sound system. 11 speakers are going to be found throughout the cabin. Digital rear view mirror will only be on the Platinum trim. 12.3 touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, wireless, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse, a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory for the front and the rear. And if you click onto this view button here, that will be the bird's eye view, which will play. You can pause it, You can also click on it to go that way, and click here, and you can zoom in a little bit more so, or zoom out. Try climate control settings. The air vents will get the satin aluminum that's going to surround it with the wood inlays on the lower tier that integrate into the door panel. Heated leather wrap steering wheel, 3-spoke multi-function with the gloss black. Digital gauge cluster for the driver that can go through an array of information. QI wireless charging pad, the key fob for the new Grand Highlander. USB ports, leather around the shifter, large pocket for the cups or bottles. It's going to be more sporty, opens up, and you have the storage tier that can move around with the 12 volt. I put a paper here so you can see how deep it is. Driver mode select, you have Eco, Sport, and Normal. And going on to the door panel, it's going to have more of your everyday materials up top, but software it needs to be. One touch up and down for all the windows, with acoustic front windows and a long storage pocket with the optional panel moonroof. For the second row, headroom is not an issue. It's the same as the standard Highlander. Leg space is going to be good with storage behind both of the front seats. You can also slide these forward to make it more tight and more desirable for third row occupants. And because they're captain seats, you can also recline them so you can relax on that long journey. The center will have some cup holders, areas for smartphones, and some storage even for the third row. Going into the third, climate control, heated rear seats, USB, home plug. You can also lift this completely out so you'll have a pass-through, and because these are captain seats with the armrest, it's not necessarily something you have to have there if you need more space. Manual sunshades come into the door panel. The door is going to be longer because this is the Grand Highlander with storage on the top tier and a long storage pocket with some more cup and beverage holders. To enter to the third row, pull the lever and just slide it. The entrance is going to be better than the standard Highlander because it's a little bit longer, and you can see that with leg space. If the seats are back, it's going to be a little bit more tight, but it's still more pleasant with 3 cup holders on both sides, a USB, air vents in the ceiling, a large window, and headroom is going to be just as good as the standard, just to get more leg room. Sliding into the center, without the seats reclined, headroom is going to be tight. Legroom will also be kind of tight. Seat space will be shared because the rails are not pushed up enough, but in shoulder space will be shared because the side panels come out more to integrate 6 more cup and bottle holders. 265 horsepower, turbocharged with 310 pound-feet of torque. Why would you choose this over the hybrid? You're going to lose 15 mpgs to the city and 4 mpgs to the highway choosing this, but it's going to be a little bit quicker, the turbocharged, opposed to the base hybrid. When you get to the max, it's a different story because you got 362 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque, but you're also losing 1 mpg to the highway, and you're really only increasing about 6 or 7 mpgs for the city. Towing is going to be the same suspension. Interior is going to be the same layout depending on what tier you get. It's going to take me to some pros and cons, and starting off with the pros of the new Grand Highlander. The turbocharge, it has a sufficient amount of power. When I test drove the Highlander standard with the new turbocharged engine, I was a little skeptical, but I do like how you have the power whether you're at lower speeds or you're just getting up onto the interstate, and you're getting better MPGs and you get more torque. Towing standard at 5,000 pounds is a great deal for me. Almost 100 cubic feet of storage. This is going to be a con because this is also over 6 inches longer than a standard Highlander, and the new Honda Pilot still has more cargo capacity than this, and it's not as long. It's wide. They do a good job giving you some cubbies and storage, but no pass-through, only a little cubby for the passenger side. I like the 360-degree reverse camera option, and when you tack onto the settings, when you're going a lower speed, it'll turn on for you so you can see any imperfections on the road. 20-inch wheels, I think this is good enough because when you're driving, you don't really feel any of the imperfections in the road. Sound is not going to filter in as much. It's it's going to be similar to the Honda Pilot. You get acoustic front windscreen and front windows, but the back isn't, which is a con because we're at a near $60,000 price. Thinking about the hybrids, would you go to the Max? I would, because I like more performance and you're still getting pretty decent MPGs. But if I'm needing to save some money because hybrids are going to cost at least $4,000 to $5,000 more, this is going to be sufficient for my daily use and a sweet spot, because if you go into the XLE, you're not going to be able to option what you can in the Limited, and you're not going to get some of the features as you get into the Limited. The Platinum really adds just a few features, so it's not something that's making me say, you have to get the Platinum. Give it a go about 20. Takes off pretty good. You don't really hear the engine filter in until you're hitting a higher RPM, which is a good thing too, because you want to think grand like the name, not just length but luxury. Toyota has given some of those amenities in the interior. Going to some of the rivals, the Subaru Ascent, the base trim only tows 2,000 pounds. Every other one will tow up to 5,000 pounds, so just something to take in consideration. The third row is going to be tight, cargo is going to be less. It's just a little bit more cramped, but it feels a bit more sporty and off-roadsy because you got the 8.7 inches of clearance. Here you only get 8 inches and no TRD. For the Honda Pilot, it's going to feel wider in the interior. You have more storage cubbies and more cup and bottle holders found throughout the interior. The drive compared to the new Mazda CX-90, that one is going to be more luxury, but you're going to have the same performance feel to it. Just when you get onto the interstate, this actually will overtake it just a little bit more so, and you get more cargo capacity. Third row is also going to be squeezed and a little bit more tight. But as for soft materials, that's going to have the most in-class. Turn radius, we're not going to come to a complete stop, but it's going to take about 2 and a part lane. Put it back into sport mode, here we go. And that's what I mean. For a daily blend vehicle, it ticks the box. It's not over the top. I can see the increase of price being justified because of the amenities that you get. With the pros and cons in place, it's a sweet spot getting the Limited trim. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Stadium Toyota for giving us this 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander Limited for our car review.